In the summer of 1990, when I was 16, my mother was trying to figure out what to do with me so I wouldn't just sit around all summer. She happened upon a brochure for YLC, which is a youth leadership camp. One night over dinner out, my mom brought out the brochure and suggested I attend summer camp. I was adamant that I not go. I was offended that she suggested I go to a camp for deaf people. I was really offended. My mind was so hearing centered. So Mom and I went around and around about it. But she convinced me by telling me it would be a chance to get away for an entire month. I resigned and Mom asked, "That's it? You're going?" I said, "It's just for a month." Mom placed me in a 2-week ASL class so that I could begin acquiring sign language. I learned the basics, finger spelling, and some very basic signs. Then it was time for me to fly to camp. I was the first to arrive at the campground. Eventually, all of the other campers arrived. I was overwhelmed. They were all using ASL at the speed of light, while I was as slow as a turtle. I was lost. I couldn't understand anything. Over the following weeks at camp, I began picking up ASL and understanding how deaf people operate. It wasn't until after summer camp, when I was back home, that I began having thoughts. I had grown up struggling through mainstream school. I had grown up wrestling with my identity, with communication. It was rough. I had the thought, why do I continue to go to mainstream school when my ears are broken? I can't understand everything being said. I can't rely 100% on listening and hearing everything. But if I continue to acquire ASL, then I can see everything and understand 100% of what's being said to me at a school for the deaf. I explained this to my mom, and she was instantly convinced. She said, "Let's do it," and began looking for school options. I had asked around at camp and had learned about some of the school for the deaf. In California, Fremont, Washington, etc. One female camper from South Carolina said she attended MSSD, Model Secondary School for the Deaf in Washington, D.C. I was thrown off that she attended school in D.C., but lived in South Carolina. That's when she told me about living in the dorm. I kept that in mind while Mom and I researched other schools. There were schools in California, but students had to go home with their family or with their guardian over the weekend. MSSD, on the other hand, allowed students to stay permanently in the dorms. So we chose MSSD. When I attended MSSD, I still struggled at first because I didn't fully understand American Sign Language. My brain was still geared toward English, and I signed in English order as I was picking up ASL. Over time, a wonderful friend helped me understand more abstract concepts expressed in ASL. That's when I began to understand how picturesque and visual the language was. I began to develop an ASL mindset. I discovered I communicated better in ASL with my hearing aids off. I discovered I could understand ASL better and understand even their voices better when my hearing aids were off. During the process of me developing a deaf identity, plus the language processing, after about 2 years, I found that I had a knack for ASL. It still wasn't perfect. I used a lot of PSE. But as time went on, I developed a thriving social life, had all kinds of friends, and had a truly wonderful time. I met the love of my life, and so on. So without ASL, I think it would have been impossible for me to thoroughly enjoy a life with those wonderful friends and people who remain my friends to this day, after more than 25 years.